When it comes to recording drums in a home studio environment or a small bedroom like the one that I'm in, you can definitely be scratching your head wondering if you're even doing the right thing. Is everything in the right place? And do you have enough acoustic treatment? Recording drums in a small studio space like this, it really doesn't have to be that much of a headache. Now, over the years, I've kind of dialed in a minimalist system for recording drums in this bedroom that I want to share with you today. Hey everyone, my name is Chris Green, and in today's video, I'm going to show you every single thing that I use to record drums in a small studio space. So let's step over to the kit and get things started. All right, guys, so this is my drum kit setup in my home studio environment. It is a really small room, and so I've got Lana here. It's going to be showing you around every single part of it because I really enjoy recording drums in this room. So first and foremost, let's talk about the drums themselves. This is a Yamaha Tour Custom Maple kit. Now, the kit was a 4-piece kit. The bass drum is a 20-inch kick. The toms, the rack toms are 10, 12, and then the floor tom itself is a 14-inch floor tom. My snare drum is snare drum I've had for years and years and years. This is a Pearl Masters Maple snare drum. It's 14 inches as well. I don't know what it is with maple, but whenever I'm thinking about wood instruments, I'm thinking about resonance. They definitely have a different sound than if you're going for like, I guess, acrylic or any sort of like metallic drums out there, but I've really enjoyed these. Just to break it down, the bass drum has quite a bit of muffling on the inside. There are some blankets in there as well. I'll go over microphones in just a little bit. The hi-hat stand is brand new to me. This is a DW 9000 series hi-hat stand. Super impressed with this. This was a gift from my wife, and at first it was really hard for me to think about spending money on something like a hi-hat stand. But compared to the other hi-hat stand I was using, like it's like night and day. It feels like feathers. My foot has plenty of space on the pedal as well. Really enjoy that. The cymbals I'm using are the Zildjian K Constantinople cymbals. This is a 14-inch hi-hat, and then this one they are calling the medium thin high. So it's a 20-inch, basically like a crash ride. There's not much of a bell to it, but that is it as far as the setup goes with the drums. Now, let's talk a little bit about microphones. The kit that I want to recommend to you, if you are just getting started out on drums, there's this kit from PreSonus, okay? So PreSonus has recently been bought out by Fender, but I've been very impressed with this. This is like the most affordable drum set for microphones. It even comes with a little case deal here. So just so you can see inside the fly case, just a little bit, you got a nice little imprint of all the different microphones that you get. Now, I'm not currently using all of the microphones from that series, but just so you know, the kick-in mic, that's inside my kick drum is the same from the PreSonus pack. These two tom mics here, the 10-inch and 12-inch, those are from the PreSonus pack as well. And then my snare bottom mic is actually one of the tom mics as well. For the floor tom, I swapped it out with this Sennheiser E838. This is normally like a vocal microphone, but I just like the way that it picked up the floor tom better than the clip-on mics. So on snare top, I've got the Shure SM57. On my hi-hat, you can see, we'll get to this in just a minute, but this clamp here from Hercules, it's clamped onto this empty cymbal stand, but it's a Shure SM7B. Just got a little white cap for it, just to stand out a little bit there. I did take the foam off as well, so it's got a little bit more presence for miking up the hi-hat. And then for the ride cymbal, if you don't want to get a Shure SM7B, this is the Fifine Tank 1. It's also on one of these Hercules clamps going onto a mic stand. And so that really allows me to isolate my cymbals. Fifine Tank 1, it's meant to be kind of like a Chinese copy of the Shure SM7B. I've been very impressed with it, and it tell you as far as cymbals go, you're putting a microphone on these cymbals. If you can use a dynamic microphone that can take a beating, that's probably going to be a good way to go. In this room, as small as it is, I really don't think having a bunch of condenser microphones is going to be to my benefit, because this room sounds like exactly what you would expect it to. So speaking of the room, we get a look here at the ceiling. I recently got these GIK Acoustics cloud panels. So these are like 5-inch thick. I believe they are 4-foot panels. It's like 4 by 2. They have their own little mounting system as well, and just above me, you can see that there's this clamp that's kind of empty. I used to have some overhead microphones on those. Those were the small diaphragm condenser mics that came with the PreSonus kit, but I just wasn't super happy about the overhead miking in this room. I felt like I'm a lot better off using the close mics, which is why I just have a ride microphone and then a microphone for the hi-hat. Also, I failed to mention the kick out mic. This is the Rode NT2A. It is a large diaphragm condenser microphone. I'll be sure to play some examples of each of these so you can hear that as I'm talking about them. So the NT2A is basically outside of the bass drum, is getting all that really, really low end kind of stuff. And then the kick in mic is getting more of the attack. Now, if I'm worried about any sort of like extra resonance, I have plenty of blankets and things that I'll use to kind of create like a bass drum tunnel. So I'm covering the microphones with blankets and things so that I'm not hearing a lot of snare drum and cymbals in my kick out mic. Now there's another setup here that is for this iPad. I believe this is a ninth generation, just really basic iPad. You don't have to have a fancy iPad. You could get something used or renewed. It does have a little charging cable that's going across to the wall, where I have one of these like Amazon smart plugs. So whenever I'm wanting to record drums, I can simply open up my phone, turn on my drums setup, and it will start charging my iPad, and it'll turn on my lights as well. But this iPad holder, I'll be sure to link this stuff in the description, but it's really durable and it's holding on to this cymbal stand. So this one cymbal stand has my microphone for my hi-hat, and it has my iPad holder as well. All right, so I want to show you here on the iPad. So with the iPad, I can go into Fender Studio, and when I open up Fender Studio, it's on the same network as my computer over here. So you can see my computer screen just over there. Well, obviously I can't go to my computer whenever I want to hit record, run over to the drums. That would be really annoying. So I am using this iPad. All I have to do is click on Studio Pro. It recognizes my machine and it opens up a session. So with this session, I can go through and make some basic mix adjustments with what I'm hearing. I can turn the click track off and on. If I want to have metronome, I can turn it on there. I can turn it off. I can rewind if I want to go back in the session. And I see all this happening on the screen as well. And all I have to do is hit record. And when I hit record, it is now recording. I can do whatever I need to on the drums. Now, a few other things that make a really big difference. This is a pair of headphones from Vic Firth. I've had these for a long time. They're basically like gun mufflers that have a headphone built in. So I don't have to wear 2 layers of headphones. I can put these on. I wouldn't necessarily use these for mixing or anything, but when you're playing drums, they have the most isolation I can think of other than using in-ear monitors if that's your choice. So these are plugged into a really long headphone extension cord that we'll get to in just a little bit. Now over my shoulder here, I've got this little nightstand that has a few different outlets on the front where I can charge things. I have my tuning keys, I have my TuneBot Studio, and then the drum dial. When it comes to drums tuning, I've got a lot of videos on my channel already talking about how to tune the drums. I do think these are good devices to have, but like everyone always says, if you can learn to use your ear, you'll be better off in the long run. So a few sticks here, my stick bag collection. Most of the stuff I have is Vic Firth, and most of the sticks that I use are these, which are the Vic Firth Rock series. They're just very wooden. They will break faster than nylon tips if you're not being super careful, but I do like the tone of wood tip as opposed to nylon. Just to briefly mention how everything's hooked up. So I do have a snake on the ground. A snake basically has 6 channels for me to plug in different microphones, and then those all go here. This is my Focusrite Octo Pre. So basically this is only 8 channels of preamps. I've got 2 on the front and 6 on the back. Those are going to go ADAT into my audio interface, which is the Apollo Twin. So this itself, you can get a version of this that is an audio interface. And if all I were doing were drums, I'd probably just get this as my main audio interface. But this one is a little bit more of a dumb version. So you set your sample rate, and then I have one cable going to my audio interface. Pretty much as far as microphones go, I have all the ones that I've mentioned earlier plugged into the red Octo Pre. The only difference, I do have snare bottom, and I believe this is my kick out mic going into the Apollo. So 2 microphone channels here and about 7 being used currently for this, but also my guitar pedal board. And as I have more things that I record, I can use the channels on this as well. And then the last cool thing I do want to show you, very excited about is you might be asking why I don't have a room mic. Well, with universal audio, you're actually able to emulate the sound of a room. I set up an aux channel on aux 2. I have the Oceanway Studio plugin. So this is emulating the sound of a drum kit inside of a room. And what I'm able to do is I'm able to send whatever channels I want. I can send my toms, my snare drum, my kick drum, all that's being sent to Oceanway's plugin, and then I'm recording this aux channel, which is 100% just the plugin. So what that's doing is emulating a room microphone that's a lot nicer than any room mic that I would have here in this space. So that's literally it. You don't need to have like millions of dollars of microphones. You don't have to have a bunch of U67s lying around. But if you enjoyed the drum sounds that I'm getting in this space, there are a couple things that you can check out. I do have my website linked below where I have my drum samples. The Pure Maple kit is the one just behind me. You can download my drum samples and use them in whatever DAW you happen to be using. If you have any questions at all about recording drums or you want to contact me, I'll also have stuff in the description for you to check out. Well, thank you for watching the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.